Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome into another edition of the Davison Igbinosun Show, presented by the College Corner. I'm Neil McCready. That is Ole Miss cornerback Davison Igbinosun, back from Baton Rouge, where the Rebels suffered their first loss of the season on Saturday, losing to LSU 45-20. Ole Miss now 7-1 overall, 3-1 in the SEC. Still pretty much control their own destiny as they head to Texas A&M this coming Saturday to play the Aggies in College Station. That game can be seen on the SEC Network. It begins at 6:30 p.m. We'll get to Davison in just a moment. First, I want to remind you that we're brought to you each and every week by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel shop, 2 locations in the Jackson area. In Ridgeland, the College Corner is next to Fleet Feet. In Flowood, it's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's okay. Go to collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Whether you're tailgating in Oxford or home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day with the largest selection of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi. Again, that's collegecornerstore.com. Davison, how are you?
I'm good, Neil. How are you?
I'm good. So obviously that game in Baton Rouge didn't go the way you guys intended. You got off to a hot start, up 17-3, and then everything from that point forward pretty much went LSU's way. When you kind of look back on it here 24 hours later or so, what sticks out in your mind?
We didn't finish as a team. Like we started off hot, and then we didn't finish on them.
We had talked a week ago about Jaden Daniels and just the problems that he presents for opposing defenses with his feet. He's also got a pretty good arm. They've got good receivers, especially Keyshawn Butte. They kind of got going a little bit, specifically with Daniels. It was his feet. He ran for 2 or 3, threw for a couple. I mean, he just kind of got going. How difficult was he to contain and to stop when he started getting some momentum?
He was pretty difficult because he could throw and run. So it was hard to stop that.
Did you at any point feel like it was kind of you guys were close, or did it feel like it was kind of getting out of getting to a place where it was just really hard to control them as they got momentum? I mean, especially in that second half, they started getting kind of some quick drives on you, that short field to take the lead in the third quarter, and then after that, it just seemed like they played with a ton of confidence. Did you sense that?
Yeah, I agree.
For you guys, did you guys kind of lose some confidence as they gained some? How did you kind of combat that?
Like I said before, we didn't finish them off. We just kept them around, kind of thing.
You had said a couple of weeks ago, I said, hey, no one's throwing at you. And you said they're going to. I'm a freshman in the SEC. They're going to come at me a little bit. It looked like LSU not picked on you, but they didn't avoid you either. They kind of came at everybody, including you. What was that experience like, kind of for the first time getting attacked some?
It was a learning experience, definitely. It's what comes with this position at this level. That's all I can really say about that.
How would you sort of assess your play?
I didn't play good enough. I don't feel like I didn't play to our standard.
Okay. What was the mood like after the game? You guys had not lost all season. You were 7-0. Still a lot of football in front of you. Obviously a disappointing loss, but what was kind of the mood like over the course of the evening as you guys got back into Oxford?
We were just disappointed because we shouldn't have lost that game.
You guys head to College Station this week to play a Texas A&M team that's completely different than what you just faced. Probably going up against a young quarterback. They've had quarterback injuries. I don't know what Haynes King's issue is. So I guess you guys will go into this week kind of having to get ready for a couple of different guys, right?
Yeah, I suppose that.
Is that hard to do? Get ready for 2 quarterbacks that are completely
Not really. I believe Auburn had two different quarterbacks that we studied for, so it's not hard.
Obviously, you guys control your own destiny, at least to a degree. I mean, you'd have to have some help from someone would have to beat LSU for you at some point for you to win the West if you keep winning. But obviously, your margin for error is gone. How does that sort of factor into your minds as you get ready to head to College Station?
Um, we still control our own destiny. We can still go to the SEC championship, and we just have to win out. So it's all on us. So it doesn't really change anything.
Texas A&M recruits you at all? Do you have any connection with them during the process?
No, they did not.
It's a team that has struggled. They'll be sort of desperate. I'm guessing Texas A&M having lost at South Carolina over the weekend. When you play a desperate team, what's the key? I guess at this point you guys are kind of desperate as well. But when you play a desperate team, what's the key to get it to kind of knocking them out?
We have to finish them. Like we can't keep them in the game. Like I feel like our problem as a team, we get up early and then take a step back. We have to go to College Station, put it on them early, and finish them.
That's a place that can get loud. It's one of those big stadiums, tall, the noise stays in. You just got through playing in a pretty big stadium. As that game got going and LSU's fans got into it, did it get loud? Did it get kind of difficult to focus?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that's why they call it Death Valley. Like you see why people always talk about that stadium.
What were your impressions of it? Was that your first time in it?
Yeah, it was.
What were your thoughts of it?
It was loud. It was rowdy, chaotic kind of thing.
Their fans are like right behind your bench. Can you hear them yelling at you?
Yeah, they were talking. They were talking a whole bunch of smack throughout the whole game, but that's what comes with it.
What was the most creative smack you heard?
Somebody started talking to Coach Kiffin like, "Go get the buses ready" or something. To Coach Kiffin.
Do you ever hear any smack from anybody where it kind of, I know you're locked into your game and stuff, but you still hear it? Do you ever hear anything that just kind of makes you almost kind of laugh for a second, like it almost breaks the monotony?
Yeah, I did actually yesterday. It came from our sideline, but it wasn't it wasn't somebody on our team. I think it was the person who's holding the chains. He was saying some slick stuff to me yesterday. So, but it was funny though for the most part.
What was it that was funny? What did he say?
I don't really remember, but I was in press coverage and he said it, and I laughed like.
All right, you mentioned press coverage. That brings me to something. Someone asked on our message board. They were curious why you guys played off so much during in the game. Was that a strategic thing, or was that just because you had to respect their speed, or what was that? You guys seem to have given them more cushion than you had been giving earlier in the year.
Yeah, like that was a scheme thing to play a lot of cover three. So like as a player, you just have to go with it.
That's kind of the philosophy there, is to keep the play in front of you. Don't let anybody behind you primarily.
Yeah.
Is that frustrating as a DB? I'm not asking you to question your coach, but I mean, you guys, a lot of times corners just like man coverage. I remember once a coach referred to man coverage as, he goes, we're playing cat coverage. And I was like, what is that? And he goes, well, it's where you tell the corner, see that cat? And he goes, yeah. And you go, you cover him. That's that cat. He doesn't call that cat coverage, which is just man coverage, right? I mean, you got your guy, it's one-on-one, it's a matchup. Do you prefer that to the cover three, the kind of the keeping everything in front of you, sort of going downhill and trying to make tackles after they've made a catch?
Yeah, me personally, I'm a press man corner. Like I like press man over anything. So I would take that any day.
We're going to change the subject in just a minute. First, I want to give you a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life, but when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. I've used therapy as a way to handle stress, clear negative thoughts, just relax a little mentally. It's a life changer for me. can be for you as well. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, it's accessible, it's affordable, it's entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. Switch therapist anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/MPW. All right. We're not going to have a show next week because Ole Miss will have an open date after the Texas A&M game. They'll play Alabama 2 weeks. 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So, 3 weeks. I lose track of time. It's A&M, then an open date, then Alabama. So we'll take next Sunday off. Then we'll get together again the Sunday after that to start looking ahead to the Alabama game, which means, Davison, we won't talk again before Halloween. Are you a Halloween person? When you were a kid, were you a big trick-or-treater?
I did trick or treat, but my mom, she didn't allow us to dress up in costumes.
Oh, you couldn't dress up in costume. So you had to be creative walking the streets and stuff, right? Asking for treats.
I mean, not really. I used to just have a bag.
You just splashed your smile and got your treats. All right, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I like the Crunch Bar.
Oh, Nestle Crunch. That's one that people don't mention much. Most people, if you ask them what's their favorite one, it's usually Reese's. Is it the peanut butter cups?
Yeah, the peanut butter.
Are you a peanut butter cup person?
Not really.
Oh, how about that? So Nestle Crunch. What else? What was the one that if you got it in your bag, you're like, hey, Mom, you can have this, or you try to trade it off to your brother or something?
The Tootsie Rolls.
I hate those.
Yeah, I don't like Tootsie Rolls at all.
I don't like the way they taste, and then they stick to your teeth. And
yeah.
I never got it. I never understood like the appeal of them. They have a funny flavor to them.
Yeah.
Do you like Skittles, Sweet Tarts, stuff like that?
Yeah, I do like Skittles, but I don't like any of the sour candies.
So as you've gotten older and now you're having to like really take care of your body, obviously you're burning a ton of calories every single day, and you can kind of eat whatever you want to a degree. Do you ever sneak candy? Candy is part of your regiment at all?
As I've gotten older, I actually stopped eating candy. Like, it's not as appealing to me.
When you have a sweet craving, or do you have sweet cravings? And if you do, what's your go-to?
Like if you're talking about candy, probably the Sour Patch Kids, the Sour Patch Kids. I like those a lot.
What about like pies, cakes, cookies?
Oatmeal cream pies.
Oatmeal cream pies. So you're like Nick Saban. Do you like
likes them?
Yeah, that's his thing. He has 2 oatmeal cream pies every morning.
That's funny. For breakfast?
Yeah, he has that. He's apparently like a total regiment guy. He has oatmeal cream pies for breakfast. He has the exact same salad every day at lunch. It's like a chicken salad with no dressing, just lettuce and the chicken. And then I guess he eats whatever at dinner. But during the day, the whole deal is regimented. He eats those Little Debbie oatmeal cream.
Yeah, I like those. The same one.
Yeah, so you got that in common with the Alabama coach. Is it hard to put a loss behind you? How long does a loss? I know everybody goes the 24-hour rule. I get it. But how hard it's easy to put a win behind. Is it hard to put a loss behind in 24 hours? Do you stop thinking about it? Do you get back to normal, or are you one of those guys that it kind of lingers for a bit?
It can't linger because it's always the next team. Because we just played LSU on the road, and now we have to go see Texas A&M on the road. So you have to have a short-term memory playing in this league, especially. It's like not sound cliche, you really only have 24 hours.
Did you get out of the game physically okay? I know you guys are getting to the point of the year where you're desperate kind of for and that's the wrong word, but you're really looking forward to an open day just to kind of let your bodies heal a little bit. Did you get out of that one in Baton Rouge okay?
Yeah, I did for the most part.
I guess last thing here, how familiar are you with like Texas A&M and all of their traditions and the midnight yell thing and the cheerleaders and stuff? You ever watch them at all?
No, never.
So kind of a learning experience. We'll make sure that when we visit again, I'll get your impressions on what you see in College Station. So it's an interesting place.
Okay.
All right, we'll stop there. Hey, thanks for the time. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, we're brought to you by the College Corner, collegecornerstore.com. They make this show possible. So again, we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll look back a little bit on the first 3/4 of the season. Can you believe that, Davison? When you finish on Saturday night, you guys are 3/4 of the way through the regular season. It feels like it just started.
Yeah, it does.
We'll look back on the season, and then we'll look ahead to Ole Miss playing host to Alabama on November the 12th, I think that is. So we'll come back and talk about that then. So for Davison Igbinosun, I'm Neil McCready. Take care.